So the show is going to start in about 10 minutes. So if you're watching this not live, just skip ahead. This is about to go up, and no, I still haven't worked out my amount.
As for racism,
So how
it's
do
worth
I?
noting in passing that another screenshot from Aberonya's WhatsApp exchange shows him boasting, "I don't frequent white."
I did try and do mirror mode, but I couldn't even find the settings, let alone find fucking mirror mode. What was that? Is that any good? That'll do. And you can listen to Lotus Eaters talk about the guy that's just been kicked out of his position in Oxford while I had a cigarette. Maybe a shit. I've just eaten 2 big burgers because I'm a fat bastard.
I just suggest you go do it from another country then. Because what's more, you can't have that both ways. You can't set up a parallel society and also have your entire career made up by that white society, by British society, that you're in rebellion against.
It reminds me a little bit of Lenny Henry, that the society that they hate gave them so much and has done nothing to curb their insatiable actions to destroy them.
And so we have a little arbitrary victory, friends, a victory nonetheless, which is that he seems to have lost the vote of no confidence. So the verdict came in with 1,746 ballots, and it seems that we won by 1,228 to 501, which, let's just also say as well, the fact that there were 501
Unbelievable.
connected to Oxford that thought, yeah, this guy can stay. I like the cut of this guy in jib. He seems to be in the direction that this union needs to be going in.
Well, the union has gone in quite a left-wing direction. I know if you look at a talk from maybe 10 or 15 years ago, perhaps, it seemed a lot more reasonable, a lot more academic, and a lot more in keeping with what you would associate with. In recent years, you don't get a right-wing guest in, and many of the annoying students jeering and just the overall conduct has gone down. And I do wonder whether this is shaped why people like this might have so much popularity, is that the political makeup of the people who attend and their members or whatever has changed.
There was just another part, actually, forgive me, that was worth reading out as well, which is that Adrian goes on to say in this piece that the problem was not only his celebratory outburst at Kirk's death, but the fact that other messengers have emerged suggesting that he holds the Oxford Union itself in contempt. When one friend wrote to him before his election...
So we get some questions in, guys. It's you that makes the lives, not me. I'm just going to go for a quick cigarette. We're going to talk about Ireland in general and whatever else you want to talk about too. Tap.
Right. So just, yeah, as you say, just being a total enemy, destroying it from the inside. And so really the question here should not be whether or not this man should be the president-elect of the Oxford Union. The first question should be, should he even be on
I don't care.
And then the question from there should be, should he even be in the company? Yes, your head working, Josh. I agree entirely. So, but of course, what we have, as we always have with gay race communists, is that they never want to go down without a fight. They never believe themselves accountable for the things they say, and they always seem to have a bit of fence around them. So you can see there was a statement here put out on his Instagram where he says, this poll was compromised from the moment that Musa Haraj and his majority of the Standing Committee brought compromised and untested poll regulations. And so he's just not, long story short, he's not accepting the result.
So I wonder if Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and YouTube are going to deplatform him now for not accepting this. I wonder if that's going to happen.
I'm sure Oxford were merely fortifying it. They weren't actually altering the outcome anyway. So as you can see here from this bottom line, George Aberonya is and remains the president-elect per the Oxford Union rules. Ah yes, like an African warlord, it's not over until he gives up power, which is something that he will never do without intervention. And so, obviously, the closing just things to say about this as well, of course, is just the fact that although it's very sensible, of course, that the membership of Oxford Union seem to have decided to eject him. It also can't be ignored that, of course, he was put there by the union in the first place, right? And they can't get off scot-free for that, right? You cause this. The entire institution just allowed this to happen, supporting a man for a whole profusion of reasons. Any one of them would have rendered him totally unworthy of this position. The fact that all of them have collided together and he still was able to get it is absolutely ridiculous. And
it makes a mockery of the whole institution, doesn't it?
It does, and as we can see from the funding problems, and what's more, the whole union is paying for it, right? They're all suffering. And his foul opinions. And what's more as well, to echo something that Stelios was saying in the segment back when we had this isn't a matter of cancel culture. This isn't a matter of trying to remove this man because he has an opinion that I don't like. The point is that this man has an opinion that he wants you dead, right? He's totally indifferent to your murder, even for people he's actually met in polite society. And so that sort of an opinion is basically an advocacy for violence and can't be tolerated in the institutions.
As the left said, freedom of speech doesn't necessarily mean freedom from consequences.
They did say that, didn't they?
Did,
And
yeah.
I tell you what, if we can't get Jimmy Kimmel, this guy's having some consequences.
If you would like to watch the full uncut version that is also uncensored, head on over to lotuseaters.com to find out more.
Your own eyes without it. Look back, Keith. This finger. This. And there is a certain consensus about this, a certain agreement,
Alright, Alan, off your pop.
especially among people who live in Western.
I got my good camera stand back. Oh, I need to put a t-shirt on to wear the fucking night now. Less sweat. Oh, no, don't do that. I don't care about changing. You don't care about me. All that care. We'll have to go back now. Right. Let's do this. Enough farting about. Let's chat some stuff. So it's kicking off in Ireland again. A migrant has been eating grapes with a 10-year-old girl. A 10-year-old girl that was already in the care system and has had one of the worst starts in life one can have, and now she's been eating grapes with a migrant from the hotel, a migrant that the island has given everything to. So I'll just quickly tell you about my day, and it is related. So I've had quite a earth-shaking day. I had a chat with an Indian man for about an hour, 20 minutes of which is filmed and will be released on this channel. And he really shook me to the core on my belief system and how far I've gone. So obviously when we see what we're seeing in England and we experience what we're experiencing in England, it's very easy to go right to the other side and feel and really buy into stereotypes. So this man was more intelligent than me. He was very open. He had no agenda, and he told me so he came to England. He came to England to live in England, and he lasted a month. And he was dead aligned with my views on the hotels, and he was saying, you know, it's crazy if you give out handout. He was like immigration is a good thing, but you need the best of the crop. And he was like, if you give out handouts, then obviously you're going to get the dregs. But what he really, so I've gone so far that I've been like, colonialism was a good thing. And he was like, no, bro. And he had no agenda. He wasn't bothered about what I thought. And he explained from an Indian point of view what colonialism meant. So it really got me questioning my stereotypes and how far I've gone with them. That doesn't mean they don't still stand in many ways. But I was thinking, oh, I've gone too far. And then I had an opposite experience about an hour ago at the gym. There was this Israeli running around in a cloak, like, so look at me energy. He also had a bird in a cage, which I just think is the most abhorrent thing one can do to an animal. You know, the animal that has the most freedom in the world, and you put it in a cage. Anyway, so I filmed him running around in his cloak, and he loved that. We had no problem with being on camera. But then when I interacted with him, I went, I love your look, bro, which obviously wasn't true, but I was just trying to interact with him in a way where he might interact back. And he gave the devil horns. I'm not going to do it, but you know where you put this finger and this finger up and you put these ones down. And he went, yeah, bye. Just so rude. It was unbelievable. Like, you know, I don't have time for this, bro. No problem. But yeah, it was unbelievable, and then reinforced all my stereotypes. So it's been quite a mixed day. Okay, let's get to Ireland, and then let's get to the comments. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely terrible. I've got a couple of statements. I've actually done a little bit of preparation. So yeah, let's start with those actually. So obviously, TUSA, I think it's called, or something like that. The care system in Ireland has obviously come out to defend this girl, and TUSLA has come out to defend this girl, and obviously they're going to say, you know, what's happened is abhorrent, and we need to put an end to young girls getting attacked, right? TUSLA can confirm that a young girl who was volunteered by her family into the care of the agency in February of this year due to significant behavioural issues. So it sounds like they're going to condemn the girl. Surely not. Surely they'll go on to talk about the migrant, right? Due to significant behavioural issues, was involved in a serious incident over a weekend. The young girl was living in a fully staffed, she was very well looked after, registered residential placement provided by a funded partner in the community of a voluntary sector. She absconded from the staff whilst on a planned recreational trip with the staff in the city centre. So I've no doubt that this girl will have a load of behavioural issues and problems because she's had the worst start in life. She's been disowned by her family. Staff immediately reported her missing, so it's all about damage control for the staff, it seems, to An Garda something, the police. She was later found to have returned to the relative's home. How dare she? How dare she want to go and see her family? This 10-year-old girl, oh my God, she's absconded to see her family. How disgusting. She deserves to eat grapes with a migrant for that. She remained in phone contact with her staff but would not identify her precise location. I wonder why, because you'll come and take her away from her family again. She subsequently told staff she had been involved in a serious incident. Staff did eventually ascertain her location through details she provided, blah, blah, blah. Our priority now is supporting the girl, blah, 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 blah. So they say nothing about the incident. They say nothing about the real issue here. They just demonize the girl. Maybe we can rely on the Prime Minister of Ireland. What did he have to say? Oh, no, that's not it. Oh, bugger, have I not got that? Oh, I thought I'd screenshotted that. All right. Well, basically, he says he just demonizes the Irish people for what they're doing. Now, we'll get into the rights and wrongs of it. I'm not here to say whether it's right or wrong. I just want to talk about it. But yeah, again, no mention of the reason why Irish people are protesting now. No mention of the big issue that everyone is clearly upset about. The usual bullshit about these people don't represent Ireland, even though it seems to me like the majority of Ireland are currently kicking off and burning stuff. And understandably so, that's not me saying it's right, that's not me inciting anything. But it's understandable why people feel very frustrated when these people from hotels do this and there seems to be no reaction. And not only that, we're bringing more and more and more and more in. So, some general thoughts on what's happening. Simon Tomlinson, Daily Agenda, really good guy, really recommend him. Way better than me. I don't know what you're watching me for. He talks about how civil war is actually being stoked up and the government wants it. And I've always said that, but I thought like more for, so they can bring in more laws, martial law, more CCTV, more control, all that. But he's saying it because they know the right isn't ready. Like he's well connected in right-wing circles, former BNP, all this. And he's saying that if the right were to uprise now, they'll get quashed. Because there's no system, there's no organization, there's no plan. So I don't know if this is good or bad. I mean, obviously when you see it, you're like, it feels, you know, you can't help but be a bit like, oh good, people are rising up. Like, you know, that's my gut feeling, that's my general feeling. But then when you think about the bigger picture, you're like, is this just playing into the government's hands? I genuinely don't know, so I've come here to chat to you guys about it. But it's very clear that the people of Ireland have had enough of the hotel people. And yeah, understandably so, because it's just abhorrent and out of control. All right, let's see what you guys think. The sign is upside down or the camera's upside down? Yes, we've discussed the sign many times. I'm too spasticated to write it backwards. Tim, hey Tom, mate, how's your day going, fella? Yeah, I've had a great day, mate. Really good day. Loving Bali. It's just the best. It is the best place in the world. Like, I am actually in, well, out of everywhere that I've seen, which I think is 45 countries, this is the best place in the world. Well, yeah, we've discussed Lotus Eaters a lot. So, Tagliabue, Lotus Eaters, you've got good taste. Yes and no. I think they talk about capital punishment way too much. I think I won't go as far to say controlled opposition. You know, again, like all these people, they give you a lot of truth, and I still watch them a little bit. But when they start talking about capital punishment, I wonder if they're just there to promote that. And my feeling on capital punishment is, with the current powers that shouldn't be, we cannot trust them with that, because it will just get watered down and watered down and watered down to where they're like, oh, you don't agree with us? Zap. So yeah, I've got mixed feelings on Lotus Eaters. I'm not going to read that, Missy. Hey Graham, good to have you here, brother. Ten-year-old mate. Oh, so Melvin's on it. Melvin, I really rate Melvin's comments. 10-year-old made up propaganda or BS. Please tell us more. And then Missy is like, we need proof to Melvin. But I think you've got to open to all possibilities here, Missy, because whilst I haven't even thought that, and I just assume it's true, because it is happening. It's definitely happening. Like, I saw a video today of, I think it was a little boy. It was hard to tell. But, you know, like a 30-year-old African man caught round a corner, you know, in a little secluded area with a 10-year-old child. You know, I mean, it's definitely happening. And I mean, maybe Melvin's going to say the Rotherham grape gangs were propaganda. You know, I'm open to anything being a psyop, but there's no doubt that these people, so we get the dregs from the society because we give the handouts. And then they have no reason to respect us at all because we're giving them handouts, and they see our government persecuting its own people. They see how topsy-turvy it is because they come from places where it is absolutely not like that. So how can they possibly respect us? And then you potentially have all the cultural issues as well. So I definitely think it's happening, but I would be very interested to hear more, Melvin. I'm not going to dismiss your point. Graham says it's not made up, you can see the pattern. I mean, that's my feeling on it. Get a job, you waster man. This is my job. How much does that piss you off? We've got a Graham, proud wage slave in the chat. It's so funny, isn't it? Like, somebody, I mean, I'm not making loads of money by any means, but I am living a lovely life. And, yeah, like somebody creates something and like creates the existence they want and works their arse off for it and finally creates it and starts living a beautiful life, and then somebody from an office is like, you should get a job and be a pleb like me. Problem, reaction, solution, repeat. Yeah, totally. So I think it's real, but they have created the problem and now they want the reaction. What do you think the solution will be? Martial law? Or just putting everyone in prison? Missy, yeah, 100% haters will hate because they hate themselves, you know. So when someone like me comes along and reflects the mirror of their plebbiness, they have one of two options, and they can either, you know, okay, what do I need to do? And I'm not saying to be like me, but to just better themselves. Or they can hate on the person that's shining that mirror on them. I'm not even trying to shine a mirror, I'm just living my bloody life. The centre is no an entity like the left and right. The centre is just common ground between us. So I'm moving much more from a black and white perspective to a spectrum perspective in everything. But for me, I just feel like the centre of pussy is like, you know, have a belief system. Is how I feel. But the centre right, I mean, I would put Tommy Robinson in centre right. I feel they're either useful idiots, so Dan Watton, for example, or controlled opposition. Why is Ireland burning? Well, I think I've told you that because a 10-year-old has been eating grapes with a migrant. Graham, there is no left or right, only divide and conquer tactics. Left or right wing, they are still wings of the same bird. So yeah, in terms of politics, absolutely. In terms of the politicians, absolutely. In terms of the people, I suppose they're just playing into the two wings of the same bird. Yeah, I mean, for me, I've never voted in my life. I don't define myself as right or left, but I certainly resonate with people who call themselves right wing much more than people who call themselves left wing. I feel like the people on the right wing have woken up more than the people on the left. But ultimately, it is about sovereignty, internal journey, doing the work and leaving all this shit behind and not giving it any power. But, you know, we're so far from that there's not even really much point talking about it. It's suicidal empathy. The elites never deal with the consequences of their ideology because they don't want to. You know, it's a plan, it's an agenda. They haven't just made a mistake here. They're not just like, oh, we thought bringing in loads of the dregs of other societies that clearly can't contribute and clearly can't control themselves and clearly have no respect for us. Oh gosh, that went wrong. I mean, if that was the case, they'd be reversing these decisions, but no, they're just steamrolling ahead because they want to destroy the country. In my humble opinion, which isn't really my opinion, I'm just playing a comedic, satirical role here and playing a conspiracy theorist. NWO, yeah, totally agree. Is there no men in the UK? How did they let this happen? Is there no men in the UK? How did they let this happen? Well, no, there's not many men left in the UK because feminism has destroyed them. And society has destroyed them. If you think about all the TV shows of the last 20 years, Homer Simpson being the best example, you know, they depict men as weak, as very weak. And then feminism has come along and destroyed both women and men. It's been a horrible curse for everyone. Obviously all planned and all part of the agenda. So yeah, there's very few men left, but it does seem there's quite a few in Ireland. I wonder what it is about the Irish, like why are they the first to rise? I guess they have recently experienced being taken over by the English. They know what it is, they can see it. Also, it's happened a lot faster there. Like we've had this, you know, slowly creeping in for decades and then it's got really intense. Hotel people, I mean. But it's happened a lot faster there. Like I think it's literally happened over the last 5 years there. Are you British? No, I'm English. British is all part of the indoctrination. It's all part of the watering down of our national identity. So no, I don't use the word British. I use the word English because that's what I am. So I've got to the end of the comments, guys. Bloody hell. Let's see if I can find that. The Prime Minister of Ireland statement. Get some comments in, keep this going. Oh, we've got a... it's different. As if it's not coming up when I've typed in Irish Prime Minister's statement. That's absolutely useless. But anyway, I summarised it. So yeah, what do you think? Do you think it's all a trap? Do you think it's... Do you think people rising up is a good thing? Do you think what the Irish are doing is a good thing? Like, you know, I genuinely don't know, so I'm definitely not encouraging anything. But it feels like somebody has to do something. And I'm not saying it's what they're doing, like I don't know. But I can totally understand it. And something has to be done. And the government aren't going to do anything. The police are all indoctrinated NPCs who just follow orders. So I can totally understand why the Irish feel like they've got no choice but to rise up. But whether it's going to work out or not, I don't know. I mean, it seems to me like... So Simon Tomlinson was saying, you know, you'd never get enough people to be able to win the civil war that everyone seems to be inciting. And Charlie Beach, I did watch Charlie Beach video today, actually, not one of his normal city ones. But he was saying civil war is inevitable. So, you know, so I wonder how much it's like, you know, these speaking pieces are here to wind up civil war. But at the same time, like, can't just sit back and do nothing while young girls are getting, you know, eating grapes. They don't exactly have any other choice. Yeah, I mean, that's my feeling on it, but it is just a feeling. I don't know. Obviously, I have to, you know, speak in a certain way for YouTube as well, so I am kind of overemphasizing that. But genuinely, like, I'm not totally sure. Let's get back to where we were. Vote Lib Dems. Oh my god. I mean, just voting, like, what the hell? Also, you've got a Europe fucking logo. You're not one of us, you're not on the right stream. I mean, how you can watch Ed Davies jump around with that fake horse going, yeah, 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 you think, that's my guy. Wow, just wow. Hey, Don McCarthy music. Lib Dems advance UK. I mean, no political party is the answer. Like, honestly, if you're still giving your power to politics, then you are powerless. Mad, innit? Boiling frog. Welsh and proud, glad to hear it. Scottish, but we're in this together. Agree. What else can we do? Yeah, I don't know, and that's why it does feel like I say, it evokes emotions in me of like, go on lads. But you know, whether I'm playing into something bigger that's gonna get nastier, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's indoctrination, but what comes up in me is violence isn't the answer. But I think we've got to a point where there's nothing else that people can try. And like, again, I'm not inciting it, I'm not encouraging it. I'm just saying, like, I totally understand why people are very angry and feel like they have no other option. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yeah, that's very true. Oh God, Starry Night. I think, have we got Rusty Journals? Yeah, we're here. I think Starry Night needs to... She's just going to shit all over the feed with her indoctrinated nonsense. Rustic Journals. All political parties are the same. Some pretend to be on our side, but they are not, in my opinion. Totally agree. Voted, played CYRMU all my life, but no more. So I don't know much about Welsh politics, but I'm pretty sure they're the left wing in Wales. So I'm really glad to see that you've woken up. Ben Habib is a man of integrity. So yeah, he's another one like Rupert Lowe, where I haven't seen, I mean, somebody said that Rupert Lowe is an open Zionist supporter, but I haven't seen that. Ben Habib sounds really good, like everything he says, but he'll be one of them. Like, I'm not saying he definitely is, I don't know, but you just don't get that much publicity unless you're one of them. And I'm just done with putting my faith in anyone that's in the mainstream. Every time you just get proof that they're one of them. So again, I think as long as you're looking for a savior of any sort rather than becoming sovereign yourself, then you're gonna end up being enslaved. Look at the chat. If only we vote differently. But voting is just pretending that democracy exists. Miss at Rustic Journals, but we have to vote someone in. No, we don't. Imagine what would happen if nobody voted. How would they claim that we still live in a democracy? How, you know, it would all fall apart. If we all stopped paying our council tax, all stopped voting, all stopped paying our energy bills, just stopped engaging with the system, started growing our own food where possible, started moving to the lands. If we all moved to the land en masse, you know, because obviously it's completely illegal to live on land even if you own it. But if we all just did it en masse, and I know this is idealistic, so I know we're not going to do it en masse because we've still got those retards, as Starry-Eye Lib Dem twat is proving. But if we all did it en masse, they wouldn't have any power and they wouldn't be able to stop us. So believing in the voting system is reinforcing this lie that we live in a democracy. And if you haven't seen by now that whoever gets into power is a puppet for the elite, then you'll never see it. Yeah, it does matter who you vote for. It's like changing your... I think that's a typo. I think it's meant to say doesn't matter who you vote for. It's like changing the deck on the Titanic. Yeah, totally agree. A nice way of putting it. You don't have to. People need to realise that voting is changing nothing. Well said, we'll see journals. As we voted no digital ID, Graham, but getting rolled out, what difference would it make? Yeah, exactly. Delightfully not. I watched the video you sent me. You'll probably realise that when you watch the 7 o'clock video today on Broken Mirror. because I do a really crap job of plagiarizing it. No, it's not true. Like, it came through when I wanted to say it, but it was definitely inspired by the video you sent me, so thank you so much. Sending all the poor people and low cognitive people to the dog's war is what the controllers of this world always do. It's always the aim, just need to be uncontrollable and not be fooled. Yeah, definitely agree with that, particularly the last sentence, although I agree with all of it. Are you relating that to what's happening in Ireland though? Like, are you saying that the poor people are being thrown into a war? Like, are you calling this a war? And what are the consequences of that going to be for the poor people? Order out of chaos. Boiling frog man, are you new? I like you. Missy, if all the workers strike against digital ID, yeah, exactly, and the same applies for the voting system. Dominic doesn't, Don McCarthy Music doesn't trust any parties. Good. But how do we become sovereign? You do the self-work. You know, watch a Carl Jung video, watch an Alan Watts video. You know, there are quite a lot to take in. Where can you start? What's a good starting point? It's so long since the starting point. I think my starting point was Eckhart Tolle. So, you know, coming out of the mind and into the body, stop identifying with your thoughts, stop being a retard, essentially. That's a bit harsh. I'm not saying you are a retard, but like, humanity has been retarded by the indoctrination and the conditioning. So if you are your thoughts, which 90% of humanity is, then you are retarded. It's not really your fault, but you can unretard. Do you not think it's gaslighting for a foreigner to declare they can save the English in England? Who are you referring to? Oh, Ben Habib. Egyptian, African, Ben Habib. Not racist, but imagine if his white said we can save the blacks if we lead. Yeah, I agree. So I mean, your last comment is, so, you know, when you live in these foreign lands, like the idea of an Englishman being in the government here, like, I mean, it's just, you know, it's just ridiculous. Like, it would never ever happen. So yeah, I do agree with you, but then in the society that England lives in, if Ben Habib is genuine, I'd support him. Like, anyone who is saying the right things and doing the right things, like, we're at that point. But you are fundamentally absolutely right, David. Habib has an English mother, but he is born and raised Pakistani Muslim. He will do almost nothing about Islamification. There is currently no serious native political party. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, I mean, again, it's like, yeah, it's saviour, it's, yeah, I'm not going to say it, but yeah. Me and Tom don't agree on this, but my view is that there is no stopping any of this because it is prophecy being fulfilled. It has to happen to bring in the end world order and then the Antichrist. So yeah, so I believe that's the conditioning of the Bible. So, you know, the Bible disempowers us massively. It makes us put our energy out there, look for a saviour out there. And that's why Revelation has been written, to make people believe that. I'm aware voting is useless. I was being cheeky to the pleb in the chat. Oh, I know you're a good guy, Graham. I don't know what comment you're referring to, but yeah, I don't doubt you at all. Let's face it, we wouldn't be so bothered about who was in power if it wasn't for a certain ideology. Yeah, I mean, it certainly made a lot of people get more political, but, you know, is that just buying into the system? Or... But yeah, oh, what's that really good channel? It's actually worth finding. Really good channel where, oh, right, so this is a great example of, like, so this is a YouTuber I really rate. Unfortunately, I can't remember his name. And, I need to find it. So he said something I didn't agree with, but I didn't unsubscribe, I didn't get angry, I didn't project onto him. I listened to what he had to say. So he was basically saying that liberalism needs to die, and that it was designed in a time when people couldn't even imagine what is happening now. So he listed a load of things that once seemed fine, but are no longer fine because of where we're at as a country, i.e. we've been invaded. And one of them was free speech. And I've obviously always just been like, free speech, free speech, free speech. But I guess he has a point, because maybe you shouldn't be letting people promote a dangerous ideology that is taking over the land. So yeah, like I really felt the distortion when he said that, and I could feel like a projection coming up. And then I was like, you've been listening to this guy for 6 months, and everything he's ever said is brilliant. Let's not get angry and let's listen to what he had to say. And you know, by the end of the video, I was totally with him. Not necessarily on the free speech thing, but oh, for fuck's sake. This is a problem when you leave your own video playlist running when you go to the gym. Okay, here he is. What's he called? Richard IV. You'll like him, Rusty Journals. He's a Christian. He's great. He's absolutely brilliant. I'd like to hear what you think of him. People marching on the streets, placards waving, 50 deep. Someone else takes over and it's just like before. That's when you know that you have lost the war. So, Missy, being an atheist is your problem. Like, you know, you'll never become sovereign as long as you're hanging on to that delusion. And the whole, I am! You know, so that's so mindy. Like, that's so... As long as... This is probably a bit deep for most people, but as long as you're believing in your opinion rather than surrendering and letting go to what is, you're a retard. Rustic Journals phrases it much nicer. I respect other people having different beliefs to me. Obviously, I would love for everyone to be Christian, but no, it won't happen. So I just accept and respect others that have different beliefs. Yeah, so yeah, I respect others that have different beliefs, but I will point out the retardation of atheism, and that's coming from somebody who is a die-hard atheist, you know. Missy needs to take some mushrooms. Glad to hear you love Eckhart, not all bites. Yeah, so when I read Power of Now, I was totally retarded. Probably an atheist. And yeah, it was the first time that I even questioned this whole, like, am I my thoughts, you know, and it was a groundbreaking book for me. And I'm going back like 15 years there. I remember sitting outside my business, which was so noisy and so manic and so busy. It was a dog crash. Like the noise, I'd literally created the external of my internal, like just mental chaos. And sitting outside and reading this book and just like for the first time taking a breath, like starting to, I don't think I was quite taking a conscious breath, but you know, starting my first steps towards taking a conscious breath. I've actually, you know, I've ignored Eckhart Tolle for 10 years and I've just started listening to his videos again today, and he's great, man. He's great, and he speaks really well on what Jesus was actually saying, which isn't what the church tells you at all. Like the deep message that Jesus was sharing, he speaks really well on that. I hate all of this in our country. If we have someone to lead us out, then I will follow. Yeah, of course you will, because you're a pleb, and you're looking for someone to follow because you're so disempowered. Are you a refugee? I believe so, yeah. I've fled a tyrannical country where I can't speak, a tyrannical country that taxes everyone to the point of oblivion, a tyrannical country that is not only allowing but actively encouraging an invasion, so I feel very much like a refugee. Hanson on Paul, interested to hear your thoughts on digital ID concerning its impact on your travels, presumably of course it will be worldwide. Yeah, I think it's really scary. I don't think expats are free from it at all. Dino Bain did a really good video on this where he was actually talking to AI, and they came to the conclusion that expats are actually the most vulnerable. Basically because if you refuse it, or if shit hits the fan, you have no support structure. You know, like if you're in England with family and friends and you're desolate because you refuse it, there are potentially more likely to be people that will look after you. Whereas if that happens to me out here, no one cares. So yeah, I think it's really, really scary. Oh man, I don't really want to admit this, but honestly, if it was accept the digital ID or come back to England, I think I'd accept it. I can't believe I've just said that. I can't believe I've just said that. Like, that's fucking vile. But I love my life. I love traveling. I love the freedom of my life. And I know that like that's a total contradiction because it's the opposite of freedom. But if it was the only way I could carry on this life, I think I'd have to accept it. Oof, how many unsubscribers is that gonna get? Bloody hell, Tommy Robinson was bad enough. That cost me 20. So Rusty Journals is talking to Missy the Atheist. If there was, I would too. Oh, right, so this is about the leader that we need to follow. Like, yeah, sure. I mean, I would too, but like, you've got to see through it. You've got to realize there's never going to be a leader. You know, I think it's Albert Pike, I think he was called, who's very similar to the guy beginning with K, who like, outlined what the plan is. You know, when the people need a leader, we will give them one. Trump, Farage, Tommy Robinson. If it was a leader, I would too, but there is not and there won't be. What's happening is happening no matter what. Only time will prove me right, and that is okay. So I think that's a little like Christian bit of that last bit. But I agree with the first bit for sure. Britney Spears' ex-husband. This could be interesting. We live in... Why is that your name? We live in a country governed by the rule of law. We cannot discard that and rebel against our government whenever we disagree. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's like the most retarded thing I've ever read in one of my chats. Other than like just hatred and bile, but that's just like total retardation. So what the fuck, man? So you're so desperate to hang on to this system that you are willing, even if we disagree with our government, we can't rebel. Oh my God. People like this still exist. Oh dear. Oh my God. Whew. Wow, that was bad. That was really bad. It was so bad I squeezed my eyes and now I can't read the comments. Give me a minute. Juna Dibley, love you, brother. Thank you, man. I don't recognise you. Are you new? Missy G agrees with something I'm saying 100%, which I'm surprised because they've been very harsh to you. So credit where credit's due. Most people would get seriously offended by what I've said to you and would be projecting by now. So I have huge respect for people who are past offence. Like this whole like I'm offended. You know, it's just the worst. So yeah, big respect for you for that, Missy. There are serious native parties, but they are not even allowed to run. That is probably true. Can you name them? Oh God, I can't even think of a name. Not UKIP, what's that other one? There's claims that the guy who runs it, Golding, is it Golding? Is the guy who runs it? I don't know, like I don't know anything about that party, but I wonder if that's the one that you're referring to. Simon Tomlin, man, the Daily Agenda, honestly, all give him a watch and see what you think. He's talking about creating a political party. He is the only political speaker I've seen, other than Rupert Lowe, who feels very good, and Ben Habib, but I don't trust him. I totally trust Simon Tomlin. Right. Hey, Dora that Destroyer. David, like it or not, religion kept a lot of crazy people grounded in faith and community. Without it, we see what we get today. Madness, essential society. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I believe that I believe a Christian society is a good society, but I also believe it's a trap and can only take you so far, and will stop you from like true actualization and connection with source. I am, but yes, on a societal level, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I just assumed you meant Christianity for sure. I mean, of the religions, I mean, is Buddhism even a religion? I mean, without a doubt. So where I am now is Hindu. Well, overall it's Muslim, but the island I'm on is Hindu, and it's the best place I've ever been in the world. The second best place I've ever been in the world was Thailand, which is Buddhist. So they seem to create really good societies. So I would definitely include them too. But after that, I would say Christian, yeah. Hey up, Tom, how do you? All right, Marky. Delightfully not. It's all done on purpose to give reason for the poor of our society to fight. There is nothing more oh yeah, we're meant to be talking about Ireland, weren't we? Thanks for bringing us back to that. There is nothing more these days that people would rise up for, as we are a very easygoing society. It's all done on purpose to give the reason for the poor of our society to fight. So why do they want the poor of our society to fight? So they can quash and quell them, presumably? I mean, I always agree with what you say to left. I think you are the most conscious person in this chat. After me, of course, I'm joking. I think you're more conscious than me. I know you're more conscious than me. Monkey Chong. Watch YouTube videos about when the... Oh, God. Can we get rid of him, please, Rusty Jones? Trump-tard in the chat. I haven't seen the Trump-tard yet. Ant Middleton for Mayor of London. Who did a video? Oh, it was Simon Tomlinson did a really good video on him. No, sorry. He sounds good. He looks good. But yeah, he's all about inciting civil war. Simon Tomlinson broke it down really well. I've not seen Richard's comments, but the fact you haven't heard my advising you on him speaks for itself, if you get my meaning. I'm not sure what you're referring to, Rusty Journals. If or should I say, when it all erupts in England, are you coming back to help? No. What am I going to do? Punch a tank? No, I will watch with despair and comment on it all. I don't believe, David, I don't believe in religion, but I believe in the personal journey of exploring your mental conceptual powers. Yeah, I don't like the term mental conceptual powers because, you know, that's staying up here, which will never really get you anywhere, but I like the first part of that. All is self, and only through self-exploration will you truly get anywhere. Richard IV has been around for a while and makes good content most of the time. Yeah, that's the first time I've watched one of his videos and felt any distortion at all. But by the end of it, I understood what he was saying. I'm not sure if I fully agree with it. I still... Should people be able to preach foreign religions in England? I think that's quite a good question. Yeah, I think I agree with him actually. I don't think that you should be able to promote a religion that's not of our country. I don't know, I still don't know. As you know, I've been a free speech absolutist for so long that it's hard for me to, you know, there's some cognitive dissonance there, but I think you might be right. Missy, I can let go of what is, but I can't believe in something that causes so much hate in the world. How can each religion have... yeah, religion's bollocks, I totally agree with you on that, but that doesn't mean God doesn't exist. Maybe they made the religions to put God into a box and make you a sinner and scared of him, rather than realising that it's all divine and beauty and you're all part of it. I love listening to Eckhart Childress. Yeah, he's so chilled, isn't he? Like, proper chilled, man. You see, the thing is, only one religion has the real God. I mean, how can you say that? Like, can you not see how egoic that is and how from the mind it is and how it's your opinion? Like, if you were born in Nepal, do you think you'd think that? Like, it's really retarded, to be honest. These blighty boys love Winston but hate Sandeep. I don't know who Sandeep is. I don't think Winston was much good. Religion of God and not the same thing. Not the same thing at all. What's that, David? Expat? Question mark. Yeah, many people would call it that. I prefer refugee. But you mean immigrant? Yeah, I'm just the same as those hotel people, just the same, getting handouts. I don't have to pay for my visa. I don't have to pay for my food. You know, I don't have to adhere to the laws. Exactly the same. What a retard. There's no such thing as an expat. Working under blue light in my office. Oh, I can't handle the fact you have a nice life and you've created something for yourself. Nearest boss to me is over 35 miles away, so no diversity here. Will you just wait? And you know, I'm actually really happy for you. Like, I'm not taking a piss. That's great, but it's coming. I personally haven't needed religion to stop me from being a menace to society. On the contrary, I am delightful company without it. Great. I don't think that's really the point anyone's made, but all good. Respect to you from the Republic of Ireland. So Tony, you're there. What's it like? What's the percentages? How many people are kicking off? And do you think it's the best way to deal with this situation? No, I'm not stoned. I haven't smoked for, God, it must be coming up to 8 weeks now, but I will definitely smoke again. I have no shame over being a stoner. You can't shame me for anything. I don't do shame. Certainly I won't be shamed for smoking a plant. So yeah, how retarded. David, I'm really enjoying your comments, David. Let's not forget we had Enoch Powell, who was unprecedented, 90% support in the polls, was ousted from government in favour of immigration, and the will of the people thwarted. This was in the 60s. I don't know enough about, I don't know anything about that. Literally all I know about Enoch Powell is that amazing speech he did. I don't know anything about it. I didn't even know he wasn't Prime Minister, was he? I don't know. Tell me more. I need to know more. Appreciate your honest response, Paul. That's all I'll ever give. It is amazing how mind control people are, yes. And how, I need to do a whole video of this on Broken Mirror, but like, how people believe in their opinion. You know, rather than just letting go of it all. Like, how people can still believe, you know, we're coming from such a retarded, indoctrinated place of knowing nothing. And people are so addicted to their opinion, like, this is the way, this is right, rather than just surrendering and letting it go and letting great mystery, like, guide you. Like, it just amazes me how addicted to opinion people are. Oh my God, why are you talking to that Britney Spears one? I can't remember what they said, but it was the most retarded thing I'd ever seen. Oh yeah, they were saying that we can't rebel against the government because it's the government. At Britney Spears' ex-husband. I'm going to take a moment and send you good vibes so you wake the fuck up. Oh, if only I was as compassionate as you, delightfully not. Life is too short to be offended by things. Perspective is key to life. Well said, man. Well said. Rustic Journals. Andrew Golding, but not sure he runs it. Yes, that's who I meant. Oh God, are we really going to read a Britney Spears? Let's try one more. What I mean is, any change should come peacefully and in line with the law. But what if the law is being used against the people to tyrannically repress them? Should we still respect it then? Left, right, same bird. Agree. What's the made-up revolutionary in 1984? Golding or something as well? I'm not sure, I've not read it. People used to wind me up with their ignorance, but now I just laugh. Yeah, I'm pretty much at that point too. When I was still in the UK, I got wound up a bit by it still. But I think what I went through recently, people are mental, and like you just have to accept that and yeah, laugh at it. Like, what else can you do, man? I went to Maine. Oh wow, David is cool, man. I went to, I'm gonna say Burma because I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's the same country. I went to Burma, next to Thailand. Buddhism makes such a lovely society. Yeah, I hear that. I had one of them living with me. I am gonna say it because that's the actual name, isn't it? Before it got, whatever happened. Myanmar. Probably butchering that. I had a refugee from there living with me who had escaped the war, and I gave him a free room and all that. And he was just lovely, and the way he spoke about his country, it sounds like an amazing place, man. It's so sad what's happened there. Not that I really understand what's happened there, but I know it's really not good. What happens when your life ceases and you find out you're wrong? You're wrong! You're wrong! I say you're wrong! It's my opinion and you're wrong! I could ask you the same question. What when, cuz then it will be too late. It will be too late to do what the Bible and the church says and what I've been indoctrinated into. Why don't you believe what I believe? Sorry, Rusty Journals, but he's proper spazzy. You know how to butter my ego. I just fucking love you delightfully not. Like, the total opposite of the last comment, and just such a high consciousness and freedom and surrender and truth and wisdom and lack of indoctrination, and it's just amazing. Oh, I can't remember now, was it Journals? There's someone promoting a certain ideology that's not of our lands. But it's fine, they've not said anything again. Let's fight against oppression by actually fighting, for fuck's sake. I'm not going to comment on it because, it's too dangerous for me to comment, but, I like the cut of your jib. Same person, scribble, religion is bollocks, believe in God as I do, but don't be fooled by religion. Yeah, totally. Well said. David, I don't believe we should stop any religions preaching, but disallowing entry to certain religions is much more humane. Yeah, that would solve it, wouldn't it? Missy was driving, sorry, God, but no religion. That's where I'm at, Missy, yes. Yep, shaming tactics don't work on me either. Yeah, you're super conscious, Graham. You're a sovereign being, without a doubt. Victoria, now are you the lady that was asking about letting go and referring to smoking? Because if so, well done. Oh, 8 minutes. Thought you were going to say a couple of days. I've not smoked for 8 minutes. I usually try to leave a half-hour gap between. Well done. Can you do another 22? I'm about 4 months without smoking ganja, but just drying some flower I'm probably going to have around Christmas time. I think that's just beautiful. Like, that's so sacred. You're drying it, you're preparing it, because it is a ritual, isn't it? Like, and Santa Maria, like, it's a very sacred plant and medicine. So I just think that's beautiful that you're gonna partake in ceremony with Santa Maria at a given day that you have decided. That's a real relationship, and that's sacred, and really getting the benefits of her and honouring her. So yeah, just wow. You just, with every comment, I fall more in love with you. Delightfully not. David, Enoch was ousted from government the day after the speech. Says it all, doesn't it? So where was he in government? Like, was he an MP or? He said everything would happen that has happened today. Yeah, I have heard the speech and it is spot on. Some laws are made to be broken, it says angelic inspirations. Not according to Britney Spears' ex-husband. But yeah, of course, it seems to me that certainly all new laws, common law is great, but everything on top of that is just made to control and enslave. So why are we following them? David, the entire establishment ruined him. Hyper-intelligent man, treated like an idiot. You know how they do it. In the 60s, it actually was very effective to ruin someone. Yeah. It didn't take much back then, did it? You know, a couple of names, and that was it. They were ruined, and yeah, totally agree. So what happened to him? I don't know if I really want to ask, but did he end up like Nicholas Tesla, like totally desolate and? Ah, man, it's really sad, isn't it? Really sad. What a great man he was. Hardy Bong, not the best way, but no other options for them. Yeah, that's how I feel. What's brilliant, Graham? Victoria, Tom, you were wound up 24/7 in Sheffield, mate. It was hilarious viewing. Yeah, I'm sure it was. I was very wound up. I got a comment the other day saying, your content was engaging when you were in Sheffield. Go back to Sheffield and make that content again. So basically what that person is saying is, I was depressed, I could resonate with you, and now that you're not depressed, I can't resonate with you. It's like, oh, okay, sorry, I'll go back to being depressed and living in a place that makes me fucking suicidal. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. But yes, the content did a lot better then because most people are depressed and it resonated with them. Stop, I'm melting. How's that? Hardy Bong. Yeah, can't argue with somebody that's not intelligent enough to understand what you're saying. Yeah, totally. There's just no point whatsoever. Oh, my next comment is Missy G. Sorry, Missy, I can't resist. How does what work? What did I last say to you? I can't remember. Something about leaving the mind and becoming sovereign and doing the self-work. You know, if you're really genuinely interested, then start with Eckhart Tolle, or I feel like it's going to be too much for you, but maybe try Carl Jung. But Eckhart Tolle's fairly, you know what, watching it again 10 years later, it was so different. Like, I was like, how did I listen to this 10 years ago? And I remember when I listened to it 10 years ago, like feeling like I understood like 20% of it. Which I probably did, if that, probably 10%. But you know, you've got to start and you've just got to surrender to it. I think Eckhart Tolle is a good starting point for you, Missy. Any other suggestions? Delightfully not, you'll have a good suggestion, and maybe David, you might have a good suggestion as well. Tommy 10 Shekels fanboy, should we deport Tommy 10 names swearing allegiance to a foreign country? I don't think anyone, I mean, he's Irish, isn't he, apparently, but I don't think deportation is the answer. I don't think you can deport a British citizen. I think once, you know, that starts, then there's real problems. And deport him to where exactly? Israel, presumably. No, I don't think that. I think we should stop following him. So, Missy to David. If that comment is aimed at me, I'm asking to elaborate, not arguing, but discussing. Yeah, really respect that, Missy. This is the start of your conscious journey, I think, because you're genuinely leaning in and wanting to know more. And the fact you're not getting triggered when you're getting let's use the word attacked, you know, I do it with jest, but, you know, it's hard. And also, I think David is giving you some stick. So, yeah, big respect to you, Missy. Big respect. Your soul is... We'll just use that word. Your soul is fucking crying out and is ready. But your head's in the way, like everyone else. I'm trying to think of more... Oh, it's so long since I was starting the journey. I don't know. Other than Eckhart Tolle, I can't think who to really recommend to you. That's really annoying. Oh, someone's been timed out. So I've missed the comments from Sanafangalia. I assume they've been deleted. Missy, for the entire chat, Tom, you've called me Missy and it's Miss G. Sorry. Thanks for the correction. I will call you Miss G from now on. Enoch was an MP for Wolverhampton and Shadow Secretary for Defence. Wow. The Welsh person. Take care, everyone. Taking a dose of shrooms and going for a walk on the beach. Can you give Miss G some, please? Right, we're going to wrap it up there, but before we go, does anyone have any recommendations for Miss G for starting of a spiritual journey? No Christian nonsense, please. Real recommendations that can actually help someone. I don't know why I'm looking at this. I'm just going to type it on. So, the live is over now for everyone who wants entertaining. We're just going to try and help Miss G. Best starting point for spiritual journey. Oh, you know, one of the early books that I read was The Alchemist. That is a really good starting point. And something, The Monk's New Car, or The Monk That Gave Away His Car. They were two of the first books I read after Eckhart Tolle. Why am I asking Google? What a fucking stupid thing that was to do. Learn Stoicism. Kyle Cease. Oh my God, I forgot all about him. Yeah, that's a good recommendation. Don't know Chris Thrall. Obviously, Rustic Journals is Jesus in. Michael Beckwith. Don't know Michael Beckwith. But yeah, that Cease guy. Wow, fucking hell. I totally forgot about him. It's years since I've listened to him. But yeah, is he a good starting point? Yeah, I mean, the fact that it's years since I listened to him, he probably is a good starting point. Obviously, so my recommendations are The Alchemist, The Monk That Gave Away His Car, I think it's called. Let me just check, what's that called? And Eckhart Tolle, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. That was in the first 3 books I ever read. And also just trust what comes up. Like, type spirituality into YouTube and just give a few videos a go. You'll find your person, you know. You'll find when the student calls for a teacher, the teacher will appear. All right, guys. Big love. Big love to you, Missy G. You've been the star of the show. I really respect and honor you for wanting to learn, for not getting triggered, and for asking all the right questions. Big love. There's nothing wrong with being conditioned. There's nothing wrong with what I refer to as retard, even though that's a very strong word and I don't really mean that. There's nothing wrong with that. I have all the love in the world and all the time in the world and all the respect for people who want to lean in and better themselves, and you clearly are one of those. So big love to Missy G. Well done for making it to the end of the chat, because that must have been quite tough for you, but it seems that you took it in your stride. Big respect.